All right, welcome to today's explainer. I want you to picture a really specific scenario with me. Imagine you're walking through a completely packed cafeteria. You've got your food, you're desperately looking for an open table, and suddenly you trip. You stumble and boom, you drop your entire lunch tray. Food and drinks are literally everywhere, just a spectacular mess. And then a friend standing right nearby looks down at the absolute disaster, looks back up at you and says,
Wow, graceful. So notice how I delivered that? It definitely wasn't a compliment, was it? It had this sharp, deliberate, kind of mocking tone to it. That auditory contrast, that sudden, weird shift from what the word graceful usually means to how it was actually spoken is absolutely the perfect gateway to the concept we're exploring today.
Okay, let's dive into this. In that whole lunch tray nightmare, your friend doesn't actually mean you're being graceful. I mean, they mean the exact opposite of graceful, right? You were undeniably clumsy in that moment. But by saying the total opposite of the truth and delivering it with that sharp little edge in their voice, they're using a very specific linguistic tool. They are highlighting the clumsiness through a really stark contrast.
Section 1. Meeting the word.
The word is sarcastic, sarcastic. One more time for the folks in the back, sarcastic. Grammatically speaking, it functions as an adjective. It describes speech that uses sharp, mocking remarks that often say the exact opposite of what is actually meant.
Now, at the very core of this word is the concept of biting irony. This is honestly what gives the word its unique power in everyday conversation. A sarcastic comment cuts. It usually pulls this off by pretending to praise someone or something while really teasing or criticizing them underneath. It's kind of like a linguistic Trojan horse. The surface of the sentence looks like a nice little compliment, but the bite is hidden just below, waiting for the listener to catch on.
So, the crucial point is that because it's an adjective, it can describe a few different elements of communication. You can describe a person as being generally sarcastic in their day-to-day personality. You can describe a specific tone of voice, like the one we used in our cafeteria example. Or you can use it to describe just a single, isolated remark in a conversation. It's a seriously versatile descriptor.
Section 2. Sarcastic in context. Listen to how the tone completely shifts the meaning of this sentence. "Nice job," she said in a sarcastic tone, eyeing the mess. Do you hear how those two words, nice job, completely flip their meaning when delivered with that specific, mocking tone? By eyeing the mess, we absolutely know a good job was not done. The context completely reinforces our definition here.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next point. Let's look at this quote. His sarcastic sense of humor made some people laugh and others wince. You know, this type of sharp humor can be highly divisive among different groups of people because it inherently has that bite, that hidden critique we just talked about. Different people are going to react to it in completely different ways. Some will find the cleverness absolutely hilarious, while others will find it a bit too prickly and wince at the sting.
Consider this sentence. Try not to be sarcastic when your little brother asks for help. In this case, the word is actively describing someone's behavior and tone toward a younger sibling. It's a really good reminder, actually, that because this type of speech has a deliberate sting to it, there are vulnerable moments, like someone genuinely asking for help, where it's definitely best left unsaid. Section 3. Sarcasm versus irony.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that both of these concepts heavily involve saying the opposite of what you actually mean, but they aren't exactly twins. Irony can often be gentle, purely observational, or even just coincidental. Being sarcastic, on the other hand, is pointed, it's sharp, it's heavily targeted, and as we've noted, it always lands with a little bit of a sting. Before we wrap up our investigation, let's quickly outline the morphological family of this word, just to give you the complete set of grammatical tools to use it in different parts of speech. If you need a noun to describe the concept itself, the word is sarcasm. If you need an adverb to describe exactly how an action was performed, you would say it was done sarcastically.
Section 4. Try it yourself. Let's move to SC and see how this builds your understanding even further.
Here's my challenge to you to close out our time together. Imagine you've spent all morning packing the absolute perfect picnic basket. You lay out the blanket in the park, and suddenly, out of nowhere, the skies open up and it starts pouring rain all over your lunch. What is a short, harmless, sarcastic remark someone might make in that exact moment? Think about how you'd craft your own mocking, opposite-meaning response to that completely ruined picnic. Maybe something like, "Oh, what lovely weather for a sandwich." I really want you to actively ponder this new vocabulary word today.
Where else will you spot it out in the wild? Will you be the one laughing or the one wincing? Keep your ears open for that biting irony, and I'll catch you in our next explainer.